Hello. What are you doing here? What am I doing here? Is there more space engineers? This time we're in creative mode. This time we can play around and great things without worry. See, look, I fly. This is my last creative time I was in creative mode. I had to test oops, the feasibility of a small grid floating officer, and we have that. And then how I would make a floating dock, the raise and lowers with the water. It will always stay at this level. It's kind of ingenious. Don't know how, don't know why, but it works. I haven't used this yet. Don't know what I'll use it yet. I mean, it is kind of expensive for a dock. Right. And it's not working. Why aren't you working? You were working. Where'd lock off? Oh, that's because I had it locked. Not flip. Who cares? I mean, look, I don't even have it inside anymore. I don't have it inside. I don't have it outside. Yeah. You changed. Well, not in this version. So let's see. Ah, there we go. There's no silver mine. What happened to the silver mine? Oh, that's right. I didn't start it in this area yet. But the beauty of this is I now can go. Oops. Boop. Platform. Down. Container down, right in the center. Not quite the same, but yeah, doesn't need to be. Just to make it look like it's actually, you know, supported. Because not like I'm actually going to use this right. This, again, is a test. It's all just a test. It's to test this, to test that, to test everything. We gotta test. We gotta know if things work. Or don't work. So let's look here so I can watch. Friends from above. First one goes here. So block. I can go here. We have places of butt. We have places of butt. Very simple. Edit. Round script. S.C.A.M. Mana. Manas. Yeah. Really want a nice, useful for everything to everything. Now we go into program blocks, custom data, dispatcher. Roller goes from here. Oh, we don't want to copy that just yet because that goes into the first thing we do. So program block. Recompile. You have checked nothing. I have my log. We're a dispatcher. We have no subordinates. Okay. That is how it should be. You have a log. That's how you should be. F10. I have this one. I also, I'm gonna want to is there someone else? Pro 100? Yeah, right here. Subscribe to this guy. XU3. Oh, I have a feeling you're not going to show up, and I don't know how I can. There you go. Just took time. Let's try this one first. That's a little bit more compact. Just a little taller. Though I think it runs on hydrogen, which may be a problem. His does run on hydrogen. Yeah. Looks a lot nicer. Oh, it even has a merge block. So no. It runs on hydrogen. Not acceptable. So I guess we'll go back to this guy. I want to go back to this guy, yes. First things first. Make a nice flat place for everything to go. Off. Turn it off. Oh no. What? Alright. Your antenna. Is my antenna on? Oh, that is right. I am now in creative when I pop it in. Doesn't have ownership. Control. Dampener on. You are now here. We can now get back to you. Turn you on, turn you on. You stay the same, but you get edited because you're the old version. Go back into here with the new version. You have gotten an ID. You are considered an agent. Let's check custom data. Agent. Large cargo container. It's where you'll drop stuff. Ah. I bet you that there was. You don't have it listed here. Want to put adaptive in for sure, because I don't want stone. You, in theory, are should be set good to go. You I've seen one subordinate. Yep. We have no task. And you have showed up here. Okay. No active tasks. Perfect. Fly forward and find a spot. Look right over here. Why do I not have I need to recompile everything for you? Oh, yep, I probably do. Menu block, menu pan. task run. Did I lose stuff? Subordinates 1. Is this on standby? Great task. What's its log say? Design role agent. I found. Talk to a dispatch. It says it's on force finish. Transfer me. Everything is sent to me, right? Yes. Try again. I need to all activity restores, overrides, release controls, clear states. I need you to do that. I need you to give me feedback when I click things. Or do I press buttons? Broadcasting global hot and clear state. Okay, so you press E. Purge locks. Clear log. Clear state. Okay. Bring it in again. First things first. Give it all to me. Turn you off, turn you off. on standby already. Yeah. I have to load in. No matter what, you get to load in. I want you empty. Must be a large cargo container. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so it's reloaded that and need to recompile. Found a dispatcher, echelon. Okay, I am floating along, doing nothing. You're on. You're on. Minor state idle. Sit here. I want to remote take control. Unlock. Fair enough. Just because I may need one. Okay, so unlocked in makes it to the sub. I want to fly over here. Here was good. Okay. Man, create task run. There we go. Why does it think I have two? Oh, that's where it will be next, I guess? Huh. Would have thought it would have been faster. Oh, I know what I need, because everyone just needs a... Except it doesn't have a thing on the side. flying back. It landed. It's dropped off ore. Did it actually find any silver? Doesn't appear so. Last found ore depth, there we go. It's found ore depth at 10 feet, or 10 meters. So in theory, after this, it should do the 10 first meters as like a right click. Not collecting the crap. This needs to have the drone's name. I mean, it's nice that it's telling me that it's drilling. It's adaptive mode. Still finding ore. And it's about. I'm assuming that's half full because that's off the level. Okay, received locked. Hover over shaft for more info. That's just plant. That would be in progress. These are all planned because it's spiraling out. I'm surprised it's not this one that's next. It must think I have two. Going to unload. I see it. It's right there. It's flying. Landing and dumping. Nice! Got iron? Nice. Or silver? Not iron. Silver. Iron. No, it didn't. It got silver. Okay. Only because I want to do a long-term test. Federal Industrial. Give me industrial storage container. I hate these things. It's so freaking big, and none of the placement parts are on I'll do this the hard way. Okay, you are getting it. Crap, what a silver. And again, because I know I'm gonna need it. You're gonna get let's do it by hand. I don't want you putting anything on it. What do you have? You're just full. You're transferring. Okay, so I can do that. Drones offload into this container. It's storing everything into this container. And the refinery shouldn't give a shit. Refinery's gonna pull stone first, unfortunately, but oh no, it's uses messing with it, that's right. Okay. My real test. Oh, you shouldn't be pulling in stone. I mean, yes, you hit through silver, great. But the whole point of adaptive mining is I don't get the stone crap. It's a nice little update there. Tells me this is done. Yeah, it must think I have 2. But it should show me 2, right? I don't know why this one's on the screen. Okay, the one thing I will not see now, because I'm in creative mode, is battery usage. I know what I'm going to do. We're going to want to test this from here. Let it take off. Resume work as per God goes to your state now. What the? Cancelled? Why did it cancel this? You didn't get down to silver. Fine with taking stone if I have to take stone, but at least mine the valuable stuff. How do I see if that you're truly... Oh no, it did say you're an adaptive. It says it on the back. Let me guess, you're gonna stop here as soon as you got to the silver. And tell me that that hole's done. It's in progress. Okay. Things to note, maybe not use adaptive, sped up the binding things itself. Okay. Whoa. And complete accident, I find my original hand drill boring hole. Now you're going to get some... Okay. I'm not sure why you stopped in the last one. I know what I need to do. Oh, I could have done it because I'm still here. Antenna, radius. Harbor is what? Our base is 7, so I get around 8. Because, again, that's about sooner. Should be able to see over it. Okay, so the task now, let's see, is... Does it work if I'm sitting over here? Man, it sucks not having a room. Control K, it's this one. terminal, go to camera. Oh, I guess I need a remote block for viewing. Oh, don't tell me that's the case. It brings the whole grid with you? No! It shouldn't bring the whole grid with you. Did I just learn for having some fun? Is the grid still over there? No! It brings the whole grid with you! Okay! Well, today I learned. That was interesting. That's right, I only need a place to sit, an antenna, and power. Since I'm in creative mode, I have endless power. Okay, I wanted to go here. It's a little too high, but this is doable. I can still see it. So it is drilling. It is still on, it's on shaft 4. Actually, I wonder. I guess you can't take control of it from that. Okay. Well, that was an interesting little turn of events. That's what gives me this. Again! Why did you cancel all those? I think this will work though. Only one drone gives me decent for silver. Gives me a decent amount of silver coming through. Okay. Go back over here. Because well, I feel recall. Well, I feel the adaptive mining is kind of working. It's not quite working. Yeah. For a few of these, it goes down and doesn't want to get down any further. Like, it stopped here right when it started getting silver. And stopped here before it got there, even though it didn't know 1 more meter down. So, I think I wanna have you land. You just stay there. Okay, so that's the task it's currently doing. Halt activity, restore overrides, release control, clear states. I think that's what I want to hit. Theory, this should not be. Because I want to go into a miner, custom data. We're gonna turn that back on. Then we're gonna go to if set drone analyze what kind of work gets and adjust max depth and skip depth drone exit. Also with some ban commands to dispatcher so it later rejects shafts in said direction as being supposedly useless. Ah, see, I really don't want that because if it automatically thinks. That's set by default. Okay, max step, this goes in what? This goes into... I assume this goes into the dispatcher. Skip that. Done with disable conveyor connections to the drills, so when they're full, stop, the internet gets destroyed by the game. Useful for deep plans or you just want, okay. So I do want to skip depth. Don't think it goes into you. I think it goes into you. Yeah, skip death. That needs to be 10. Get above altitude. What's that? Ah, this was not updated. Why would you be updated? Does it? I mean, updated May 12th. Recall, these are all commands. Default, that's cargo full. When cargoes occupy this level, that's not what I care about. Oh, I want you empty because I don't really care where you put stuff. Get above altitude. Flat value that's added to the path. The useful drone needs to fly over a wall to a docking area. Yes. That's default to 20. You get above altitude 5. Jet to 10. Depth limit. Depth limit isn't great. Down does it need to go? It's doing something like silver. And this looks like to be the same thing of iron and anything else. Like 30? Let's do 35. And because I can check. This one here would be, yeah, 30 would do too. And I'm assuming this is around 10. Yeah. Like 10 and 30 would work. Looks like it goes good out 10 and then 30. Programmable block. Depth limit is 35 just in case. And since I changed those, I need to recompile. Yeah, I only have one subordinate, and I don't know why you thought I had two. Huh. Ah. It's not on. This is what I have issues with. This time I want to go out here. Okay. Minor. Run task. I am so glad you're able to catch yourself when I screw you up because I'm not out of you yet. Okay. Back to here. We are not in adaptive mode. We are only showing one, which is what it should have been all along. I do happen to wonder, what would this do? There is a grid. But it's possible that my spherical spiral arm of circles goes out and hits this. I don't want it to do that, but I want to know what happens when it does. That is why this is so slow. Okay. It's actually grinding through stone instead of mining it to get to depth 10. I have to say, whoever created this script is a genius. By now, you should have hit silver. Yep. Should be close to full by now. Yeah. Come back up now. And you should go up. There you go. That's what I want to see you. I want to see you in the air. Okay, I want to see land. Take off. I'm assuming a whole bunch of stone and a little bit of silver. Halfway done. That told me it's halfway done? No, it just tells me it's in progress. $69 shafts. These are all, what, 3.6? That's the center. So radius 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 15. 6. It's a pretty big circle. And it's not even as tight as this could be packed. Obviously, they just picked this for the simplest. It's easier to do, but you know, you could easily come back and pack everything, all these in. Now, that does also may be the graphical benefit. It may actually be packed tight. Only half full. Okay, well, this. If I go into terminal, it shouldn't screw anything up, right? Full, you're full. Oh, you actually fill up the drills too. Okay. Back home. And take off. Should be done by now. You're close. You're 28, 29, okay. Now I wonder if this comes back to empty when it gets to 35 or goes to the next shaft. Wasn't full. Waiting for lock and shaft. Changing shaft? Okay, it does. It just changes shafts. Nice. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. And damage should be allowed on. Allowed damage, yeah. Okay, good to know. It will just go through the voxels. So I don't know why I'm doing it that way. Doesn't seem to bother it otherwise. Nope, got through. Okay. Okay. Thing to know, I only need one. But this is gonna be... Only need one, but it needs armed. It needs a little room. Okay. There is no way I should be doing a deadly re-entry. I'm sorry, game. I'm not flying that fast through air. Well, I know. In theory, this should cool me off, right? Actually it does, but I think that's just because I'm going slow. Not because I was in water. Okay. I am back. Okay. While I am here, I should be smart and bookmark this because I'm not sure I have. Actually, I don't think I have this version. I've added a lot of stuff to it. And I may want to add more to it while I'm here before I bookmark it. Because it could use... this way. Of course it's not centered. Why would it be centered? Now you're centered. Find the right piece. good enough for that. I don't really care. Only because I want to do turrets. Well, I don't think one turret's going to do much from... Oh, it's a small grid. Oh, can I do autocannons? I don't think I can do assault cannons. Might as well do an assault cannon because, frankly, turrets on small grids look like crap. Now that gives me a storage on the boat, even if it can't be connected shore-wise. Should probably really fix. Awfully stable, so I'm assuming, oh, you're already connected. So you're not going to sink when you do this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You need to change. Let's put you on the front walls for now. Oh, this is the problem with okay, I want you just like this. Wow! We're just floating in here. Wait. Oh, okay. We're back in here. This is not going to be easy there, light seal, is it? Okay, and then you should seal that whole front of the ship up. Sadly, you won't feel sealed up going down here. I'll have to think about that. That'll seal it this way. Okay, what are you? Are you a small medium container? I think you're a medium cargo smoker. Yes, you are. Still you. Oh, because you connected up to the grid on the bottom. Okay. I was thinking about this already. You're there for a reason. You will be connected to a grid on the water. Okay, so how can I get you? What space do I have? Don't want to put you up one more. You're at the perfect height. Don't think I can go down one more everywhere. Maybe I can. Yep, over here comes up. Okay. Oh, but that's... That doesn't mean anything. It's still a 3x3 hole. Put a large in. I need a 5x5. So yes, while I can get a 5x5 here, I don't think you're going to fit otherwise. We're going to either push the connector up too much and not work. Okay. And the medium cargo container only has left front and side. Yeah. 8 small grid. So I could do this. Please convey it. I want that sticking down? No, I want it flushed up. think that needs to be. Just do that. Yeah, why not just do it, just to make sure. I sealed. Raise you up. Turn you off. You're perfectly buoyant. Good. I get a large cargo container worth of storage. Technically I get more because I'll be miner. Taking a miner here. Honestly, let's. Is it reality? I know you don't match anymore for what you are, but you'll work for now. See what room I can squeeze into the ship. If I could drive. That rate, you should not fit over that conductor. Well, of course not. Why would you fit over the conductor? Okay. You're here, taking up that room. I should be smarter about where I do this now. Well, I have to remember, I am trying to make this... Oh, wait, why didn't you add battery? Oh, because you aren't the same. Good batteries there. Let's delete that one. I'm fine with you being back here. Just move you over. Why can't gravity align you? I always forget. You're off, you're off. I don't need you on for this. I just need to see where I can put you. And you know what? Do this a lot better. Where did I put this? Won't fit with that in the place. I don't believe you changed size any from big to when I changed you from medium to large cargo containers. Have you on top of the gun, but that sounds like a bad idea for a boat. So I may be wide enough for it to work. Because the boat will cause... Turn the thrusters off. What? Only one thing you can tell. It is definitely front heavy. Okay. So I am thinking, let's just make a smaller river. Because I don't really necessarily need a river while I'm over there. It'd just be useful to have. Let's take you off. Thank you. Fix you because I can't drive. Leave you there for now. Though I think you may go there later. Don't you? Don't you? Don't you? I think I could get by with let's do this. Oh. No! Be nice, actually. To have doesn't get rid of, gives space back here now. Okay. I can't. Be nice if that was flush. I have to live with it until I redesign a boat. Okay, so now if I were to put I thought I added. I don't think I'm controlling the same thing. Yes, that's 7 kilometers away. Can I do K from here? Turn you on, and then I need your remote control. That's, there we go. Do you fit? Alright, I do fit. Raise the back up. You still fit. I think you will. It's a tight fit, but you fit. Where to put I think you're there. Transport. Leave you there. Let's make sure you are indeed in the center and you can land and touch. Then I'll seal you up. Yes. Actually, you know what I should do? You need to be sealed no matter what. And I have a feeling that you need to be sealed at least there, but I'll seal you across the bottom regardless. my doors. I didn't know that was a small group door. How big is that? 5 by 4. How big is this one? 5 by 4 by 1. Save. Let's just check before I... Well, that's the whole point of putting the door on the floor, right? That should keep that air tight, but give me access when I want to go into it. That fits. I think I even can put these down. Let's see how well I float. And it pops flying right up. That's what I want to see. Okay. That is what I want to see. This is what I'll take over. I have 3 large containers. Small grid, large containers. And now that I don't need you, I can put the turret back on. I'll have 4 small grid large containers with inventory space. I'll have a little river. I'll have one drone and a boat. Coming back, I'll have 2 small grid large cargo containers, so I can bring back a whole crap load of magnesium. Okay. Now that we are done here, switch you off and delete you. Yeah, whatever. Do the same thing. Unhook you, drive forward. Exit you out. Get off the boat. Minigag. The design is done. Okay. You, I still have you, but you're ugly and ineffective. You don't even float as well. Okay, let's see how we're doing at the mine. I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff. Static grid control. Pull you up. You've done 5 whole circles. Inventory. 470 kilograms. 75,000 kilograms. Okay. You're drilling. You're half full. Let's go. Let's actually go check. You're making a big hole in the ground. That's what I'd like to see. You seem to be working fine without me being around you. Okay. That's what I like to see. Okay. I would like to say this is a good test. I have, even though I didn't make it, I'm not gonna attempt to make another drive. Not for now, I'll do that later. I have a mining drone that works. I believe I've understand S.C.A.M now a little bit more. One things I'm gonna want. I'm gonna want them. Program block this custom data. Access. Just need a terminal. Your custom data. No, I don't think I necessarily need your custom data. Okay. You just work. Okay, so I will definitely... Actually, I don't know. I may need another program block on the grid. Because that's the only thing I wouldn't have, but... and a remote control, maybe. Over here, I have the mini gag boat. That sucks that managed to break any creativity I had over here on the harbor base, but whatever. This is creative mode, I don't really care. Much, probably. Antennas don't need line of sight. Okay. I think I am good for this evening. Thank you for coming out and watching. I will be playing tomorrow. I'll be back in survival mode. Back on the original save of the horrible frustration that I've had today with the S.C.A.M mining script, which is why I'm in creative mostly just to get through the problems where I don't have to get frustrated by losing a drone or whatever and having to rebuild it. I did run into a few issues tonight, but thankfully, just copy paste, start over again. I really shouldn't have worked on this in here, but I don't care. This is a nice little small grid boat that is a lot more buoyant than a large grid boat made of actual hydrogen tanks. Though I did learn if I put hydrogen tanks on the water mod do not float unless you actually have a vent put on it. But even then, the buoyancy of this boat made out of, even though in survival mode, empty hydrogen tanks sucks compared to small grid, same rough general size, but an actual air pocket of basically large grid blocks, because I designed it in the purpose of it was literally by blocks tall, by however many blocks. The air pocket of 3x3 plus whatever, minus whatever I took to pipe it and then split it in half is a lot more buoyant than this will ever be. And I just can't explain it. But that's right. This works. Small grid gives me small grid props, so I can actually have, you know, brakes, reverse, bow thrusters. Gave me a lot of, you know, decoration purposes. Actually have a beam going through the ship. I don't know why I picked a wide cockpit. I just did. I wanted something different. And the best part is actually run conveyors and stuff under the floor. Like, this is actually conveyored up to this. Oh, and the connector on the bottom. And that connector on the bottom... Oh, I deleted the base. I had a floating dock. I have a floating dock that I'm trying to balance it just right so the connector will be under the water just enough so you can drive the boat on and run into that connector. But, I wish I didn't destroy that base, but I didn't know if sitting in the control seat when you move your character body after the spectator mode brings the grid that you're in. So that was fun. So that's it for tonight. I thank you for joining me. Again, I'll be on tomorrow, and in survival mode to continue Agaris at War. I have confirmed that the mod is working, or at least modular encounter systems. It's just I'm nowhere near enemy territory for it to trigger most things, and so I haven't really seen anything yet. I think that will change once I start and go. This save wouldn't have it. Go get the magnesium that's right along the border of the bad guys. I should probably start seeing more things spawning in. But until then, it's been very quiet, and I thought it's been broken, but I can't confirm that otherwise it isn't. Land bases seem to spawn in, so I gotta assume that if they're spawning in, that anything else works. And I know that they've had issues with things not being able to spawn because they water mod changed, and they just need to update the boats so they don't sink as soon as they spawn in, or fall out of the sky. But is it? We're Good night, everyone.